Hey babes, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a mostly almost full face of e.l.f. So I went to Target and I was grocery shopping there, and I wandered into the makeup aisle, and you guys, I saw there was like a big stand of e.l.f. and I saw these little $3 like quad palettes that they have now. And I didn't want to get all of them or even more than one because I'm like, I have so many palettes right now and I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. So, you know, why are we buying so much makeup, right? So I only bought one, and I bought the one that I thought was going to be the most versatile for me. And I'm obsessed. So, and I also got some other little goodies, and I also just pulled out like every single e.l.f. product that I own. Turns out I don't have a full face of e.l.f. in my collection, but I have a lot. And I have definitely some staple products, and what I do have from e.l.f. is pretty good. Like, I have pretty good top tier e.l.f. in my collection. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys like it. Bust out your makeup, grab a snack, join me, let's binge on some makeup together. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this makeup look. Alright guys, we are starting off with a fresh face. So I have pulled out every single e.l.f. product that I own, and I honestly thought I had more things, but I think e.l.f. is one of those brands where it's really affordable, but I'm very picky, and there are some brands that actually do things actually cheaper than e.l.f. If you pay attention, their prices have gone up slowly, so there are certain things that you know, have intrigued me, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off with some of my favorites because some of my like top products in my collection are from e.l.f. and one of those is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So this is the original one. I love this one. I also have the matte one, but I am not going anywhere. I mean, if I was going outside and it was hot and sweaty and I knew I was going to be wearing my makeup for a really long amount of time, I'd probably use the e.l.f. matte one just because my skin gets pretty oily, especially like in my nose area. But that's about it. So other than that, I really love the original one. So I'm just going to rub that into my skin. e.l.f. actually does primers really well. My favorite like top tier primers are from e.l.f. And this is definitely one of them. I'm obsessed with it. If you guys, I mean, like, you know, it like broke the internet. It was sold out forever. So it's a great primer, especially the original formula. I feel like is really nice to put all over the skin because it's not mattifying. It's really great in between. So I've worked that into the skin. Looks great. I actually didn't even check to see if I had like setting sprays from e.l.f., but I don't think that I do. So basically, I'm going to take you guys through my routine, and I've just pulled out all my e.l.f. products. I didn't really know how I was going to do this video, but we are definitely going to keep everything drugstore and affordable. So I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation in the shade Bronze Beige. I'm almost out of this, you guys. So that's probably why you keep seeing it on my channel. I really love going through things that I'm like almost out of because I don't like them cluttering up my collection. But what really spurred this video is I went to Target to actually grocery shop, and I found myself in the makeup aisle like I do. And I actually saw this lipstick that I was really interested in, this little eyeshadow palette people were raving about. And also, I noticed that e.l.f. had these itty bitty crease brushes, and so I have the e.l.f. eye blender brushes, which I love, but there's like a major size difference here. So I really liked this. I bought 3 of them, and they're like $4 a pop, so they're not like the absolute like $1 brush. And my dog is down here making noises, but yeah, I just thought like it's better. It's like almost looks like a Morphe M506 brush. I mean, maybe it's a little bigger, but it has kind of the same like vibe going on, and I figure like Morphe's so much more expensive, plus I can't go to Ulta anyway, might as well, right? So I'm also going to use the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, I think it's what it's called. I'll leave it right here for you guys. But I'm using this sponge to blend in my foundation, and it honestly is one of my favorite sponges. I think it does, like e.l.f. did this sponge so well. It is so bouncy and just like applies product so beautifully. I'm obsessed with it. It's one of my favorite sponges from the drugstore. So I'm just using this sponge to work in my foundation. Okay guys, so foundation is on, and now I'm going to jump into one of my favorite concealers. Honestly, I love the matte one just as much, but today I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. 16-hour, or sorry, this is just the hydrating concealer. The 16-hour one is the matte one, but both of them are incredible. I absolutely love them. Honestly, I feel like if you literally just like changed the label on this, you could find this at Sephora. Like, it is such a good product. So I'm just going to go in with this one. I have the shade Medium Peach. I'm also just going to go ahead and use, let's see, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Photofocus Banana Powder. I haven't used this in a hot minute, and I was really loving it there for a little while. So we're going to jump in with this today. And I'm just going to blend this out. And then whatever excess, I'm going to apply it on like my T-zone, any areas I kind of want to highlight just a little bit. I know this isn't like a super highlighty shade, but you kind of get the gist. So I remember why I wasn't the biggest fan of this powder. I love the finish of it. I actually think it's really great. Ideally, I would just get the translucent one, but I have so many powders right now that like I don't need another one. But this powder, if you can see my skin, it like everything is very flat. I love that it's matte. It's just very flat. So that means it's like very one-dimensional. So anything that I kind of highlighted with that concealer, which mind you, wasn't a super highlighty concealer, but if I'd gone in with something lighter, this would have been fine. So that's something to keep in mind. I would definitely get translucent unless you are more deeper skinned than me. But it's not a big deal. I'm definitely just going to go in with some light powder under the eyes and call it a day. We're going to like make it work, you know? So next up, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. blush and bronzer palettes. These are so good, you guys. I remember, I think I got the bronzer first, and I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, this one is the Bronze Beauty palette from them. They have 2 shimmers and 2 mattes, and you get some options, honestly. So it's not a bad palette for sure. I'm going to go in with this top shade right here that's a little fairer. But yeah, like especially if you're beginning in makeup, I think these palettes are great. They definitely give you some like play around and just like options when you're starting out. And they're super affordable. Most things from e.l.f. are pretty affordable. They just do have like certain products and certain like lines within e.l.f. that like definitely they kind of have jumped price. But for the most part, e.l.f. is still a really affordable brand. So I still really recommend them. I love them. And if I'm not mistaken, they're cruelty-free as well. I think e.l.f. is just one of those brands that is like completely cruelty-free. Check me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they are. Okay, you guys, so I just asked Siri and they are indeed cruelty-free, which is great. I knew, I was like, I'm pretty sure they are, or at least they were, and I just want to make sure. So that's wonderful. I love to see, you know, brands that are cruelty-free. So I forgot how good this was. And honestly, I'm still just using the same like super light shade. I'm going to use the deeper one to kind of contour a little bit. These are not palettes that I generally like travel with, but I don't know why. I mean, I have them in my collection, but I've just never really like traveled with them. But honestly, they'd be great travel palettes. They're inexpensive. If they break, you're not going to cry your eyes out over it. So is anyone else's quarantine nails doing really well? Like I feel like my nails have not been this long and healthy in a really long time. And I'm really happy about that. Like, they're doing really well. So I'm gonna go in with the deeper shade, the like deeper matte shade. And I'm just gonna kind of like contour bronze with it a little bit. Just kind of deepen up this outer part of my cheeks and kind of give my face just a little bit more dimension. Because, like I said, we were looking real flat earlier, so. I do actually have a few e.l.f. eye brushes, so I'll also be incorporating those when we do our eyeshadow today. So I will like shout out any brushes that are e.l.f. I'm also going to take this like shimmery bronzy shade right here, and I'm just going to kind of dust that on the cheek area. If you guys watch my channel like a lot, you kind of know that I really love having like glowy cheeks, and you can totally achieve that here. It like definitely gives you a nice little sheen, and you can obviously, I'm just like applying this on like really like dry powdered skin with a really like loose like dual fiber brush. By the way, this brush is also Wet n Wild, and I have a lot of Wet n Wild brushes and they're really good quality. So I actually think Wet n Wild brushes are more affordable than e.l.f. brushes in some cases, so check them out as well. I'm also going to contour my nose with the lighter shade. I've not really used this palette for that because normally I stick to my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but I'm going to take the lightest matte shade and try. to contour my nose and hope it goes well. I'm also going to take that under my bottom lip. If you have smaller lips, try this trick, you guys. I do it all the time, and I really think it does make the bottom lip look a little larger, especially when you're overlining them just slightly. It really helps everything blend in. So I actually think this palette did a pretty good job of blending everything in, so I'm really happy with that. I wanted you guys to give me your like favorite e.l.f. recommendations, because definitely there are so many great products from e.l.f. and you know, I want to know what you guys like from them. So I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. blush palette now. This is the light one. Mind you, these are like really intense. I don't know how this is their light blush palette. But I'm going to go in with this like peachier shade, and I'm just going to take a different duo fiber brush and just kind of put some blush on those cheeks. I think this is probably my favorite blush shade in this palette. It is such a like apricot-y color. I love it. These other blushes are also super intense, so if you're going to go in with them, well, let me just show you. I'm going to go in with this more like dusty, like rose-ish one here at the bottom. Just applying that on the apples of my cheeks. Like, obviously with a little bit more of a dense brush, but these are super intense blushes, and yes, if you own them and like them, just watch out for that. Also, oh my god, you guys. I don't know if you can buy the replacements, or if I just broke it, or if I'm not meant to do this, but I think I am, because you see how these are like glossy here? You can like pop them out. So if I wanted to pop one of these into my bronzer palette, that's really cool. I did not know that. That's a really nice plus of these. You could buy like all of them really if you wanted to and like mix and match. So that's really neat. So it does pop just like right back in. I felt it when I was like messing around with it and was surprisingly impressed by that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera, and we will be right back so we can go and go ahead and get into some eyeshadow. Okay guys, so brows are done. They feel like a little heavy today, so I honestly haven't been doing my makeup that often, so I'm kind of like, I don't know, feeling a little strange. So I'm going to go ahead and, normally I just do concealer on my eyes, but I also purchased the e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer, and it's really good. I'm just like, it's hard to like dye an old habit, you know? So I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. 16 Hour Camo Concealer. This is the matte one, and I'm going in with this one because it's a lighter shade. This is the shade Light Sand, and I'm actually going to use this, wow, that's maybe too light, okay, whatever, to kind of carve out my eyebrows and like highlight them, because the palette that we're using today doesn't really have like a super light shade, so going in with a lighter concealer is going to help with that. So I'm just going in with a little pencil, like not pencil, but like a really thin brush. This one is the Ulta Beauty Flat Concealer brush. I use it in like all of my videos. I'm just going to go in and kind of like carve out the bottom of my eyebrows here. Okay, so it definitely looks a little crazy right now. So I'm going to take a little rounded dome, a little bit harder of a brush. This is the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And I'm going to go ahead and go into the e.l.f. Putty Primer. You see this one is definitely a lot more skin-like. So I'm just going to swirl my brush in here. And this is not only going to be my primer, but I'm going to use this to kind of diffuse and blend in this super light concealer. You can also definitely use your finger. It is more of a dry product. And the more I've had it, the more I've kind of figured that out. The first time it was a little bit more creamy. I have a video dedicated solely to this product on my channel, comparing it to the MAC Paint Pot. It is a dupe, but like when I say it's a dupe, it's an exact dupe. So that means everything negative about the MAC Paint Pot also really kind of comes into this product as well. But you know, that took me a while to figure out as well. So I'm just kind of pressing it in. I feel like definitely using a brush with this product is maybe easier just because you pick up more product. And you almost want to stamp it because like it can get like kind of dry and patchy. I don't know if you guys can see that. But like I said, I wanted to use all of my e.l.f. products, and that means the good, the bad, the ugly. You can actually see how much this has dried out since I purchased it, and I didn't purchase it that long ago. You see there's like this ring around it. Well, that ring, like the product like shrunk, you know what I mean? I bet if I like, it would come out because it literally, do you guys see what I mean? Also, I think this is one of those products that is really difficult to work with for me, and I think it'd be even harder to work with on mature skin, so just FYI. But let's get into the whole reason I even wanted to do this video. These little baby palettes. These are the Bite Size Shadow Palettes. I have mine in the shade Pumpkin Pie. But to be honest, I have so many palettes that, like, even though there was a ton of them that intrigued me, I figured I would just pick up something really simple and just versatile, because I know that, like, I will use it even though I have my other palettes. So we're gonna go with this today. And I also picked up 3 of these itty bitty crease brushes from them. So we're gonna use at least one of these today. These are cruelty free and vegan, and the number on them is 84029. So like at the top here there's a little number, and that's like one of their identification numbers. But in addition to this, I also have their like fluffy eye blender brushes, which I love as well, and these are great for just throwing color in the crease. So we're going to use this today as well. So I'm going to first go in with this lightest like matte shade. So these little palettes, I think each of them has like 2 matte shades and 2 shimmer shades. So I'm going in really lightly with this shade and diffusing it upwards, because like I said, since there's only like one shade and like there's not like a really soft transition shade here, I need to make sure that I make the shade a soft transition shade by the like lightestness that I apply it in. So I'm just going in with the fluffy eye blender brush, and I don't really have a look in mind. There's like so few colors in here that I'm just like kind of focusing on diffusing it and like working one thing at a time. That looks really good. Actually, this is blending incredibly. I know there like are even some high-end palettes that I have that that don't blend this easily. So it also builds really nicely. Like I can definitely intensify this, which I love. Maybe if I did get another one, there's one that's like this, but like a very light version of it, like more toned down with like a cream color. Maybe that one. There's also like a pinky mauve one that's gorgeous. So they're only $3, which is such a steal. There's definitely, so it's like, you know, a little more than $1 per shadow because there's 4, or a little less than $1 per shadow because they're only $3. That's beautiful. And honestly, if you have a bronzer, use your bronzer. If you have, you know, your face powder and you want to lighten something up, go in with your face powder and like go over your brow area. Like you don't have to stick to it. I was just kind of showing you guys that like you can totally do this with just like one like little palette. You know, you can create a really nice look with one little e.l.f. palette. But yeah, like definitely use your other stuff if you have a bronzer or whatever you want to use. But I've just been sticking to this eyeshadow and I really, really like it. It is so cute. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to bust open one of these little crease brushes. Oh, this looks promising. Okay, and now I'm going to take this nice little deep shade. I'm going to dip my brush in that guy. There's a little bit, like a tiniest bit of kick up if you guys can see, but it's not anything too terribly intense. Oh, this guy has some pigment. Hello. This brush is really great for detail work. You can see I am getting some fallout. It doesn't bother me. I've already set my face. I'm just going to take a little like powder brush and dust that right off. Another trick, if you like are more concerned than I am, I guess, you can just take some powder and dust it, like just your loose translucent powder, and dust it right under the eye where you generally feel like you could fall out, and that will catch any of it and you can just dust it away. So I'm going to go back in with the first shade and the first brush I was using and just diffusing that. But like for just a 2 shade eyeshadow look so far, I am loving it. Like look how pretty and like sultry it looks without really much work at all. Okay guys, so I kind of got carried away, but let's catch up. So I actually found this teeny tiny little e.l.f. brush, which is the e.l.f. eye crease brush, and it's like a little nub brush. So that's really what I used for this lower lash line, and that's pretty much always what I use this little brush for. So I'm going to go in with the nice darker brown that's matte, and I'm just going to run it on my lower lash line, kind of connecting this outer corner and kind of like opening up my eye like this. And I'm actually just going to use the same little brush I was using that's like the more precise one, and I'm going to go in with the lighter like camel shade, and that's what's going to go on this inner part and what I'm going to use to kind of blend down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually using a little Wet n Wild flat like eyeshadow brush because I didn't have an e.l.f. one, but you can always use your finger, just prefacing that. So I couldn't decide which one I wanted to go in with, like the shimmer shades, but I decided to go with this one even though it looked darker to me. It also looked more taupey, and I really, as I was doing my eyeshadow, you guys, I noticed that I think one of my favorite things about this look and this little palette in general is that even though it's a warm palette and it's called pumpkin spice, it's also like, this brown particularly, it's very like almost like very neutral brown. It's not like orange brown, if you know what I mean. And I feel like a lot of the times palettes nowadays are coming out and doing like neutrals and like warm tone shadows. Like this is a warm tone palette, but they're doing warm tones and it's so warm that it's orange. This is like genuinely like a nice neutral, like warm palette. It has a little bit of both, so I love that for it. I think this shade right here probably would come off way more orange, but not digging into that one right now. So I'm going to go with this one. And mind you, I did not wet my brush. Like, do you see how incredible? That looks like I wet my brush. Like, that is like one of the oldest like makeup tricks in the book, is like wet your brush to intensify your eyeshadows. But I literally didn't do it. I'm sure if I did, it would just be like bam. So I love the way the eyeshadow is coming along so far. I was going to use this. I was going to return this. I tried it once and I felt like I got a ton of fallout, but I haven't returned it because of everything happening, you know what I mean? So I haven't left my house really, so there was no way I was going to return this, and didn't want to like return it online, so I still have it. But I figured might as well here. I'm gonna use it. So it's the liquid glitter eyeshadow in the shade Flirty Baby. Also, I just wanted to give this another try because a lot of people really like this. So I'm gonna try it again. Really like the shade I got. I think it looked beautiful. I just got a ton of fallout from it. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. And maybe that one time was just a fluke. Maybe I used too much. I don't know. I'm also gonna go in with a eyelash glue today because that situation happening everywhere, that was not fun. So I'm going to go with my NYX Glitter Glue first, and I'm just going to put a little on the back of my hand, like the tiniest, but you do not need much, you guys. My dog is rolling around on the carpet like, this is hilarious. I have to show you. Okay, she's been caught. As soon as she noticed, she stopped. Like as soon as she saw me do this. What are you doing? Okay, back to the makeup. So, yes. I'm like, what was I doing? So I'm gonna take that same little brush I was using before, and I'm just gonna take the tiniest bit of this glitter glue and pop it over where I put the shimmery eyeshadow. And basically what I'm doing, you can see how I'm distributing the product, and I'm like kind of patting it at the same time because I don't need that much product, because technically it is a glitter eyeshadow. It should just stick. And then I'm going to take the eyeshadow, and I'm actually going to take the same, no, I'm going to take my finger and apply it on the back of my hand to kind of disperse some of that product. And then I'm just going to pat some of that beautiful glitter on my eye with my finger. And like, this isn't a super precise look, and I love that. It's almost like grungy and it's like just dispersedness. So I'm very, very happy with that. I also have this e.l.f. eyeliner, so I'm going to do a little bit of a line. I don't think I'm going to do a wing. This is just their eyeliner in the shade Charcoal. I am not the biggest fan of this, and I don't use it that much because it actually has, I'm going to just show you guys, some like, you see it's like not matte at all, number one, and also when it dries it still has this like shimmery sheen to it, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I actually bought this eyeliner because I needed an eyeliner like on a whim, and I needed something cheap because I already have eyeliners at home, and I just needed something for the time being that was, you know, I was like, my makeup had ruined or something like that. But it does stay put, and I've tried it a few times and it's not terrible. So it is just a liquid liner. We're going to use it today. I will say too, in my opinion, it's not the best for doing a wing, like full on. And for some reason I feel like the applicator is kind of like too flimsy, maybe? I don't know. I've tried to do a wing with it before. Okay, I really like that so far. Really, I just wanted to pop on some eyeliner to kind of cover up my lash band. I am going to go ahead and pop on some mascara at this step and some lashes, and I'll be right back. But I think that if you want to keep it more like PG-13, more girl next door, more daytime, more like sweet and subtle. Definitely don't go with lashes. But you know, I'm all of those things, but a little more glam. So we're gonna pop on lashes because the reality is that like if I was gonna do this look, I would love it like this. I think it's really cute and I like it. But I would put on lashes. Like, I think lashes, especially in pictures, make the biggest difference. Like, chef's kiss. I love it. So, I'm going to go with lips right now. I'm just going to use my favorite lip liner. It is literally so affordable. I think I got it for like $2 because I got it on sale, but I think normally it retails for like $3 or $4. This is the LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Liner in the shade Cafe. I'm just going to use this to quickly just outline my lips so we can get into the lipstick and the lip gloss. Okay, so there's that. I think this color is just perfect for like my personal complexion. Lashes are on. These are actually just some lashes that I used in my last video and like I saw sitting here on my desk. So they are the kind of lashes that you can see kind of open up your eyes like this and give that cat eye effect. But I literally have no idea what style these are. Like, I cleaned out my desk, found some random lashes that literally were just sitting here, no packaging whatsoever, and popped them on. My personal favorite lash right now at the drugstore is the Salon Perfect Pre-Permed Push-Up Lashes. These are in the number 672 and they are the tight curl style. These are gorgeous, okay? They're gonna make your eyes look like a baby doll. But also, LA Colors came out with this like new line of lashes. I have 2 of them here. I've tried out, I've tried out these. They're really just too like short for me. Like I like my lashes pretty long. So these are beautiful styles, really, really natural in their like length, I guess. But they're beautiful. Like look how precious these are. So these are really cute and these are really affordable at the drugstore as well. I really like them. The quality for me is there on these. I really love them. So I just wanted to point out some options for you guys because I'm useless. I have no idea what this is. But we're going to go ahead and jump into lips now. I did pop on my lashes, so I wanted to mention that. But this is their Seriously Satin lipstick. I do have another e.l.f. lipstick that is like a Barely Beautifully Bare, I think is what it was called, like that collection. But these are the Seriously Satin creams. And honestly, I'm a sucker for packaging. I thought this was so cool that you could completely see the bullet of the lipstick. And for some reason that was so satisfying to me that I was like, that's gotta be gorgeous. So I did pick up their lightest shade in this. This is not normally what I would go for. I would go for something definitely more deep. But I just don't have a lipstick this light in my collection, so I was like, okay, well, let's try it. But, oh my god. Okay, so I actually really like it. My lips are really dry right now, so the like texture looks a little off to me. But I really like it. It gives me like kind of Kim K vibes because the inner part of my lip is so light. But I think this lipstick would only work for me the way it is right now if I went in with the lip liner that I did. This is a brownish lip liner. Like it is my go-to lip liner, but it is a brownish lip liner. So if I were to go into something that was way lighter, it would just not look good. I also have my favorite lipstick or lip gloss, like probably like at the drugstore. It's probably gotta be this one. This is the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Champagne Glam. I love this stuff. So I wish the applicator was different. What I do is I just roll it on the back of my hand to get more product off. So I do this like 3 times, like if I'm like first applying my gloss, and then I get like a good amount of product on the brush. And I just love it. Like it looks so glossy. It really plumps up your lips. Definitely you don't want to be kissing with somebody with this on your lips, let me tell you, because they're gonna be like, what poison did you just put on my mouth? Like this is like, it burns, definitely. So if you don't like that, you're not gonna like this. But I did see that they came out with new ones that I don't think are like lip plumping and look pretty much the same. So okay, I actually really like this lipstick on the bottom. I really think that, especially in person, I feel like it makes my lips look lighter on the inner part, and I really like that. I think this might be my new favorite lip combo, you guys. Like a true nude without being like too brown, but the edges are brown. I love it. Okay, I'm a big fan so far. Those I think are all the products I have. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my face, throw on some highlight, a little more blush, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. I love it. I really do not think that I have, you know, done my eyeshadow so like simply and like not complicated in a hot minute, really. And I love this little palette. Like, I didn't think I was gonna love it this much. I think it's gonna be in my videos all the time. Like, I'm obsessed. It's such a nice palette. The mattes in here are incredible. The freaking shimmer shade was so creamy. It's amazing. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I'm like very passionate about this little palette. It's so good. I didn't think I would love it as much as I do. I wanted to mention this headband that I'm wearing right now. I got it at Target, again, while I was there. And look how beautiful it is. It was like 10 bucks, which in my opinion is a little steep for a headband, but it was really cute. And I hadn't seen anything like this textured and like this. It's like large, but it's like very satiny and like silky feeling, and I just really liked it. So I'm wearing it. It's gonna be like featured in my videos from now on, so I hope you guys like it. But also real quick, I just wanted to thank everybody who has DM'd me, shouted me out on Instagram, talked to me. Like, I love it when you guys interact with me. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is like doing something. And especially during this time, like I love to see, you know, you guys all just like engaging with me. It's really fun. And for all of those of you who have recreated my makeup looks, thank you so much. It literally means the world that you like what I'm creating enough to create it. Like, that's why I'm here, you know, like to give you guys tips and see it come to fruition, and I love that. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, loves.